has been part of the conversation, and we've always wanted to fight each other. There's been some shit talk back and forth for a couple of years, and my goal is to become world champion.
He's a guy that's coming up, trying to prove himself. He's been calling my name out for years, you know, and he's an undefeated fighter, you know, so.
Jake Paul, the social media sensation turned boxer, is coming off the biggest victory of his career, defeating Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and pushing himself further into the spotlight. His rise has been marked by bold promotion, unshakable confidence, and a knack for keeping fans talking long after the fight ends. Meanwhile, on the opposite side of the ring's narrative, stands Gervonta "Tank" Davis. A proven pound-for-pound talent, Davis has built his reputation not only through his explosive knockouts but also by turning criticism and controversy into fuel for his career. He's the type of fighter who thrives under pressure, making every bout a must-watch event. Together, these two men represent very different paths to boxing's center stage, one forged in spectacle, the other in hard-earned dominance.
And I think these guys don't know what they're getting themselves involved in, and I see the sparring partners they're bringing in, and it's just no one that can match what I'm capable of in the ring, and it's going to be a very upsetting night for him.
Julio, que te va a romper tu madre, güey. Más. Better said than that. You're going to fuck him up. I think that's the easier way to say it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
¿En español?
Lo que tú quieras, whatever you feel.
English, please.
Hey,
Yeah. English,
Jake,
please.
for talk, you're better than me. That's for sure. In boxing, fight out.
After months of speculation, endless online chatter, and a media storm that seemed impossible to escape, the moment finally arrived. Jake Paul and Gervonta "Tank" Davis stood across from each other in the ring. Their paths to this stage couldn't have been more different, yet both carried the same weight of expectation. When the bell rang, the anticipation instantly turned into electricity. Every punch, every feint, every clash carried the intensity of two fighters who refused to back down. The matchup unfolded with the kind of drama that boxing fans crave: sudden momentum shifts, raw emotion, and the constant sense that one strike could change everything. It wasn't just a fight. It was a collision of styles, stories, and reputations, with the unpredictability keeping the crowd on edge from the very first round.
Gervonta and Jake Paul are gonna fight too.
Are they?
Oh yeah, Jake's gonna kill him.
What? When is this?
Probably the end of the year.
I want to go to one. We gotta go to a fight together, guys.
You gotta come to my Brand Race, Tennessee.
We're going to the one for...
DAZN officially locked in the fight, removing all doubt and sending tension soaring. The anticipation reached its peak as the fighters came face-to-face one last time before stepping into the ring. In that final public showdown, the atmosphere was anything but staged. Every stare, every word, and every gesture carried real weight. It was clear to everyone watching, this isn't some scripted spectacle. For Jake Paul and Gervonta "Tank" Davis, the fight has crossed into something personal. The line between promotion and pride has vanished, leaving nothing but raw determination as fight night closes in.
Jake Paul versus Julio Cesar Chavez Jr.
I think it's one of his toughest fights.
It's definitely his toughest fight. Jake, I feel like, has gotten stiffed a few times this year with who his opponents were gonna be. This is what I don't understand about people hating on him. He's not fighting tomato cans. Every single person that he fought had a chance to beat him. And by the way, people believed that they were probably going to beat
every
them.
time.
This guy is a real boxer. So it'll be another opportunity to show that Jake Paul is a real boxer.
Looking back, Jake Paul's matchup with Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was billed as his most difficult test to date. Chavez Jr. carried the credentials of a seasoned veteran, former world champion, battle-tested, and backed by the proud legacy of Mexican boxing. For Paul, it wasn't just another fight. It was the moment critics said would expose whether he truly belonged in the sport or if his rise was built only on spectacle. Chavez Jr.'s toughness, experience, and deep-rooted fighting spirit made him the type of opponent many thought would halt Paul's momentum. Instead, that bout became a defining point in Paul's career, forcing him to prove he could withstand real pressure and compete against someone with championship pedigree.
No, yeah, I'm gonna knock him out. That's what I came here to do. First round, it's gonna be an early night. He's gonna get hit with the right hook right away. And I'm going home early. We don't get paid for overtime. This can be a spectacular performance, and there's not a lot of pressure. I'm prepared.
Jake Paul came out with non-stop pressure, never giving Chavez Jr. room to breathe. The turning point came when Paul connected with a thunderous right hand that visibly rocked his opponent, shifting the momentum squarely in his favor. From that moment on, Paul dictated the pace. Round after round, he mixed accuracy with timing, using calculated combinations and sharp footwork to stay 2 steps ahead. His approach wasn't wild or reckless, it was measured, strategic, and effective. By the time the final bell rang, the outcome was undeniable. Paul had delivered a performance that left judges, analysts, and fans in agreement. This victory was earned through control, discipline, and clean execution.
In the ring, Gervonta Davis just posted that he would beat the brakes off of you if you guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be down. Let's run it. Like, I'll be super, super down. I don't know if
Gervonta needs Jake Paul. Let's be clear, right?
Is there a height limit?
The moment the post-fight microphone was in his hands, Jake Paul wasted no time making his intentions clear. There was no carefully staged drama, no drawn-out theatrics. He went straight for the challenge. With the crowd still buzzing from his victory, Paul called out Gervonta "Tank" Davis by name. The delivery was direct, confident, and stripped of any pretense. It wasn't hype for hype's sake, it was a fighter publicly demanding the next test. In that instant, the narrative shifted. Paul wasn't just celebrating a win, he was laying down a bold declaration for what comes next.
Jake Paul wanting to fight against Tank Davis, Gervonta.
Man, it's so stupid that comments, you know, like, you wanna fight Joshua, you wanna fight, Joshua, you wanna fight, Gervonta, you wanna fight, Usyk, you wanna fight, Canelo. I don't know, after 28, so maybe never fight again.
The very idea of Jake Paul stepping in against Gervonta "Tank" Davis might sound unreal at first glance, a YouTuber-turned-boxer lining up against an undefeated, multi-division world champion. For many, it's the kind of matchup that feels almost impossible to imagine. But the sport in 2025 has already taught us a key lesson: expect the unexpected. Boxing has become a stage where reputations collide, boundaries blur, and unlikely challengers find their way into the spotlight. What once seemed unthinkable is now very much in play. This fight isn't just a clash of styles, it's a reflection of how unpredictable the fight game has become in this new era. What sets this fight apart is the fact that Jake Paul isn't following his brother's path. Logan's showdown with Floyd Mayweather was billed as an exhibition, a spectacle that leaned more on entertainment than competition. Jake's situation is entirely different. This is a sanctioned bout, officially recognized, and carrying real consequences. The danger inside the ropes is very real. When Paul and Gervonta "Tank" Davis met face-to-face for the final time before fight night, the tension was undeniable, and this time, it wasn't the type that promoters could control. Jake, the larger man, carried himself with bold confidence, towering just enough to make his presence felt. Tank, though, didn't flinch. His stare locked in like a challenge of its own, silently daring Jake to break eye contact. Every camera caught the same story. This wasn't playful rivalry or hype for ticket sales. Tank's body language revealed something deeper. He doesn't merely question Jake as a boxer, he rejects him entirely. To Tank, Jake Paul hasn't earned a place in his ring, and that lack of respect might be the sharpest weapon he brings into the fight.
Former athletes and celebrities like Jake Paul taking up boxing, you think that grows the sport?
If he's doing it for the right reason, actually want to do it because of just like actually want to box, it's cool. But if he's doing it for like the wrong reason, just to get the hype and stuff like that, I feel as though it's trash. Sometimes people get bored at what they want, what they doing, and they want to try other stuff. Got to be mentally tough to be able to box. So that's why I don't take that away from some fighters or some people that want to jump into the sport. So just show how tough you are. That's how it should be.
For sure. That's all I got. Thank you, bro.
And Jake Paul is feeding off every second of it. Hype has always been part of his arsenal, but this goes beyond promotion. He understands the psychology of the moment. By drawing out Tank's pride, he's aiming to turn it into a weakness. Jake knows this isn't just another fight for Davis. Tank's reputation, his standing as a champion, and his credibility as one of the sport's elite are all tied up in this matchup. That's the exact pressure point Jake wants to exploit. For Paul, it isn't just about trading punches, it's about dismantling his opponent's confidence from the inside out. Breaking Tank's pride would be just as valuable as breaking through his defense.
Now, what came out still on top
With Floyd? What was the lose-lose situation? What you mean?
Just it was a situation that he put me in to, you know, make me lose. But he thought I was gonna lose. But
You talking about like a boxing match or?
yeah, boxing match.
Ooh, if you don't mind. If you don't want to, it's fine.
Pedraza. Joseph Pedraza, my first world title. I was 16-0. I was 16-0, and I was 21 at the time, and I haven't fought in like 7 or 8 months. Around that time, I wasn't making that much money. I probably was making like 10,000 a fight. So 6 months is crazy to not fight, you know. So when they came back and it was like, all right, you gotta fight this fighter, which is Joseph Pedraza. If you don't fight him, you're not fighting. You're like sitting on a shelf. So I had to fight him. In the midst of all that happened, I got evicted. I had to sell my jewelry. And remind you, I'm letting them boxers that you talking about, I'm putting them on game. Letting them know what's going on. Like, see, this was happening. Like, you feel me? I'm letting these guys know. So when it be like people saying they want to fight me, it's
like, how could you, nigga? I was the one that was giving you game when I was going through it.
Yeah.
When I was at the lowest part of my career, I was telling y'all niggas how so you wouldn't have to get to here. And now it's like betrayal almost.
Yeah.
Do you think Floyd did that intentionally?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Why? After so much time, after like, I guess, again, after what we think, he helped you come into the game, he gave you the spotlight. Like, why would he try to diminish your career?
It was somehow that they were saying that I was messing with his daughter off of the fact that she kept Snapchatting.
Okay.
Kept hitting me on the Snapchat. So they sent it to Floyd.
And hovering over it all is the presence of Floyd Mayweather. The same Mayweather who not only guided Gervonta Tank Davis but also helped mold him into a star. Floyd was the one who put his stamp on Tank early in his career, calling him the next big thing and backing him with the weight of his own legacy. Now, as this fight unfolds, Mayweather's watchful eye adds another layer to the story. His history with Tank is undeniable, and his reputation in boxing is unmatched. If Jake Paul wants to prove he belongs, he's not just fighting Davis in that ring, he's battling against the shadow of Mayweather's influence as well.
Davis going to go somewhere in the pound for pound. Anui deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. Do Terrence Crawford deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. But what about Gervonta Tank Davis? I mean, he deserved to be somewhere also in the pound for pound.
Why don't they give him that credit?
Because he was affiliated.
Today, Floyd Mayweather has shifted his focus to training Lamont Roach, yet his connection to Gervonta Tank Davis hasn't faded. From a distance, he watches Tank's every move, not as an active mentor but as a figure who once invested in his rise. And what he sees now carries a tone closer to disappointment than pride. To Mayweather, Tank stepping into this fight isn't just about defending his record, it's about risking discipline and legacy for the lure of headlines. Floyd has never been shy about voicing his opinions, and if Tank stumbles against Jake Paul, he'll be ready with the coldest verdict, "I told you so." That looming possibility adds even more pressure. Tank isn't just fighting Jake Paul, he's fighting to keep from becoming an example in Mayweather's playbook of boxing lessons.
Paul, did he earn y'all respect? This guy went from YouTuber, and in 5 fights, he done fought on pay-per-view. He done fought some UFC guys, end up fighting a boxer, got his ass whipped, took the L, and went home. He even dropped Tommy Fury in the last round. You don't respect.
Jake Paul is no longer the raw beginner who once stepped into the ring against Nate Robinson. Since then, he's evolved, not just in skill, but in mentality. The transformation is clear. He now carries himself like a professional, prepares like a professional, and accepts the real dangers that come with fighting at this level. His training camps have become more structured, his sparring more intense, and his approach more disciplined. Paul doesn't simply look for easy knockouts, he studies, adjusts, and takes calculated risks. Just as importantly, he's proven he's not afraid to take a punch, to absorb damage, and keep pressing forward. That growth is what makes him a legitimate presence in the sport now, not just a crossover novelty.
This might be the worst thing that ever happened in the history of humanity. Jake Paul is set to fight Gervonta Tank Davis in November. This is ridiculous. First of all, Tank, I know you're known for not taking the hardest fights, but you at least fight actual boxers. What are you doing? You know, besides getting that bag. Second, Jake, why are you doing this? You're a bad person. Let's ignore the fact that I have personally watched this man rob a PF Chang's. Let's talk about his refusal to fight real boxers. He gets criticized for refusing to fight real boxers, so he fights Mike Tyson, a 60-year-old boxer. He gets criticized for fighting a 60-year-old boxer, so he fights a current championship boxer who is literally 100 pounds lighter than him. Tank Davis is a lightweight, 135 pounds. Jake Paul is a cruiserweight, 235 pounds. You're never beating this fraud allegation, Jake, so why are you doing this? What do you guys think of this fight? And don't tell me anything good. Say it in the comments, though.